I want to thank everybody for watching Crypto Revolution, where I talk about everything crypto daily. Before we jump into this video, I want to thank everybody for liking the video. It's definitely helped me out. A lot more subscribers coming to the channel. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Every single day, I'm going to bring you the most up-to-date crypto content, relevant information that you need. I'm going to run through it real quick. If you haven't liked the video yet, please smash that like button. It helps me grow the channel. Comment below. I read every single comment. Jumping right into the market today in crypto, sideways with reddish undertones. Overall market cap of cryptocurrency is $189 billion. Bitcoin at 7136. And you'll remember we talked about this 7100 level that needs to hold. Critical support here. So again, if this 7100 level doesn't hold, we can expect a move. There's not a whole lot of support down here. Possibly some at about 7,000. 69.50, but then after that, you know, it's a quick drop down to 6,600 and then 6,400. Previously, it started to reverse, and recently, like over the past few hours, it's just hovering around this line. And I'll show you on a shorter time frame in just a second. Also, it looks like we could get this bearish MACD cross on the daily, which definitely is not a good sign. If you look at this previous cross, bearish cross, look what happened to the price action. This huge dip, right? So we don't want to get one of those crosses, but at this point, needs a bounce. The bull's got to step up. Okay, so this is a zoomed in version of this little area that I was just talking to you about. This is a falling wedge, 68% chance this does break to the upside. Okay, there's possibly some bullish divergence here, which is saying, hey, this is going to move higher. Okay, so it's important that this plays out for the bulls and we break to the upside. Again, right here around the 7,100 mark. So make a break for Bitcoin. Shout out to Anthony Stewart on this one. He's in my trading group, and he sent this to him, and he said, listen, I'm really learning a lot from you, Chris. I've basically figured out, like, yeah, you got to be in the right coins. That's what it's all about. The other coins nobody's buying. It's the prices aren't moving. He said, I'm teaching my son how to trade. So he's just using a small amount. His son used 50 bucks, but he made $10 on a trade. Now that's 20%. So he's 14 years old. He made 20% on a lens setup that I posted. He's got this is trading so easy, even your kids can do it. It's not that hard. You just have to understand the basics, and I'll teach you that. He says, I love you, man. Keep up the good work. I get all these thank you messages, and I love it. This is what drives me. I want to be sure to help you guys, keep you up to date on everything crypto daily, and I love to see the success stories. Now, we talked about Lend yesterday. Lend is up 122%. Like, it's skyrocketed. Like setups like this. I post these profitable trading setups every single day. I've got 41 videos in a playlist. If you don't know anything about trading this market, I will teach you everything you need to know. These videos, you can watch these videos, you'll be making profitable trades. It's that easy. I've got 6 chat groups where everybody's working together, calling out breakouts. If you do want to join the cryptocurrency trading group, you want to pay in crypto, email me, cryptobitcoinchris@gmail.com. I'll get you set up and in the group today. If you pay with crypto for 6 months, you get a 20% discount. If you pay for the year, you get 30% off and an additional month for free. If you do want to pay with a card, you can do so. There's a Patreon link in the description. I had a lot of setups today. Everything, these alts, I'm telling you, something's different because these alts were moving pretty well. These altcoins, these smaller cap altcoins just started popping today. I could probably run through a list. Like Matic was moving. I had a ton of setups breaking out everywhere, you know, and you're talking like small gains, 10, 12, you know, that's where it all starts. By the way, Happy New Year's to everybody. Hope everybody had a Happy New Year's. And so keep an eye on these small caps. I'm telling you, the large caps aren't moving. Hey, try something different. Here's another comment I got. This person said, Chris, I got into your Zen midterm hold. This from yesterday that you posted, and I'm up $4,200. I'm learning so much about this market that I thought I never would understand. But definitely want to inspire you guys to learn to trade this market. However you go about it, find a way. I used to read books. You can read books. If you don't want to join the group, that's fine. I want to help you. I'll help you as much as I possibly can on this channel. But I'm telling you, it's a game changer. This is something that needs to be watched because this is Bitcoin dominance. Possibly there's a head and shoulders in play here. Again, Bitcoin dominance breaks lower here. This is going to be huge for the altcoins. I mean, you'll have a target down here around 68%. Which is a huge drop. And what this means is it's all this influx is going to come into the altcoins. You're going to see this inflow of volume, coins taken off. It's going to be good for the altcoins. Now, these larger caps, they're just not moving quite. We're not quite there yet. I mean, it takes a lot more to move the larger caps. They're You know, a percentage out of $1 billion is a lot more than a percentage out of $24 million, right? So it's a lot easier to move the smaller caps. A lot of volatility in these small caps means there's room for a lot of gains, right? So I kind of gravitated. I want to trade large caps, but we're just not quite there yet. Is Bitcoin about to be pump and dump January? Pump and dump January. What are they talking about? Okay, here's what it is. Every year for the past few years, you get a pump and then everything sells off. Pump, everything sells off. So this is in 2018. You get a pump up 11% and it sells off. Then this is 17. You get a pump 24% and then it sells off. This is in December 2016. You get a pump of 21% and then it sells off. I'm sure you guys have seen this. Here we are, 2019. I don't know if you can see this behind my head, but here we are, 7,200. Are we going to get a little bit of a pump and then sell off? Potentially. I mean, 8,000's in the cards. Here's what has to happen. So this is a Bitcoin 1 hour chart. You basically have this like head and shoulders-ish pattern. All right, you got a lot of downside, 6,500. It's not going to go straight there, but there's a lot of room for a drop to 6,900 and then 6,600, okay? But that's your downside target. So the bulls have got to bounce here. Now, if you're trading this, if you hold in Bitcoin right now, you know, you want to have your stop down here. You do not want to ride this down to 6,500 potentially. Remember, what Bitcoin likes to do and why it's so hard to trade is because if you look, so you got this long wick right here. You get a long wick and then you get a move in the opposite direction. Here you go. You got 2 long wicks and a move in the opposite direction. A long wick and the price goes the opposite direction, right? If you look here, look, long wick, price shoots up, long wick, price moves lower. Long wick here, it went back and forth real quick, whipsawed. Okay, look, long wick right here, price moves lower. Watch for these long wicks. Like when the bulls and the bears get rejected, it goes the other way, right? It's a big change. And so this is just kind of a theory that I've noticed. Like it plays out quite often, not every time. But if you just look, you got long wick and then a retracement, long wick and then a retracement, right? So just remember that has a lot to do with supply and demand. Basically, you hit that resistance or support and things change immediately. So keep an eye on that. If you guys haven't picked up a Ledger Nano X yet, the Christmas pack's still available. They're still selling it. So right now, you get a Ledger Nano X and a Ledger Nano S for $119, free shipping. So this is the same price of just the Ledger Nano X alone. So if you haven't picked one up yet, definitely hit that link in the description. It does support the channel. Thanks so much. I want you guys to think about this. The next time you're frustrated with this market, don't be. And here's why. Look at this. Look at this. This is the yearly lows for Bitcoin. We know this. Every day we wake up and we know one thing. Bitcoin is volatile. Mainstream investors are scared of this market because it's volatile. Retail comes in, FOMO's in, and sells off, and you know, they buy the top, sell the bottom. Why? Because it's volatile. Now we know this. Look at the yearly lows. $4, $65, $200, $185, $365, $780, $3,200, $3,360. There's nothing over $4,000 here. But how many times have we been above 4,000 recently? We ran up to 20,000. We ran up to 14,000. Bitcoin retraces. And this is why I try to drive home with you guys. And I know you're like, sometimes if you're a holder, you're like, Chris, be quiet. I don't want to hear about trading. I don't want to sell my Bitcoin. I want to hold it. But listen, if we know this is coming consistently year after year after year, sell the top, take a vacation, come back. You can buy twice as much Bitcoin. Anyways, print this out, put it on your wall. And every time you wake up and you're frustrated by this market, know that, hey, this happens all the time, every time. Every time Bitcoin retraces, eventually it's going to run up to all-time highs again. It's going to pull back crazy and everybody's going to be sick again. So just count on it. Here's the feel-good story of the day. I love this chart because it's a rainbow. What's at the end of the rainbow? Is it a pot of Bitcoin, not gold? There's no gold at the end of any rainbow on this channel. It's all Bitcoin. Well, what they're trying to say here is when the price action gets down towards this blue support area, the darker blue, it bounces at some point. Now, but look how long we went sideways for here. Like for years, right? For I think it was like 18 months right now. And so where are we at right now? Potentially there's still going to take a little bit of time to turn around. Could we go a little bit lower? Sure, but it's going to be this slow, gradual, like rounded bottom type situation potentially. I'm not looking for this huge, massive skyrocket boom tomorrow, right? This just look at these these corrections just take time. They're like big, huge, rounded waves. You might get 100% run up, but then you get a big retrace. So you just have to know, like, hey, this is what I know this happens. Historically, it's always happened. Okay, so let's talk about VET. I got a lot of comments about VET lately in the comment section. So real quick, so you got this rounded bottom. This is bullish, right? Why is this bullish? Because you got the bears are winning, the bears are winning, the bears are winning. They're pushing the price down. Bears are winning, bears are winning. All right, now it's going sideways. Bulls and bears are battling. They're battling it out, right? Well, then you get this yellow 200 SMA come in here. The price action breaks above that. That's the catalyst because you got a golden cross on the 12-hour chart here. All right, so you look for these golden crosses on the 12-hour, the 4-hour, and you get that's where you get your pumps, right? These altcoins are so it's pretty easy to predict when they're going to take off, and so that's these patterns come in and whatnot. So listen, then you've got this rounded bottom. Potentially this was a cup. It broke out, hit resistance, failed to break out any higher, and then now you've got this falling wedge, broke higher, and you've got another falling wedge. Okay, so but potentially this could easily be a bigger handle. This could be a bigger cup, right? A bigger cup and a bigger handle with more potential. But what can't happen is you don't want to go below this level, 69 Satoshis, all right? You don't want to go below there because what do you got? Let's look at it. Look at this. What is this? You guys know this one. Head and shoulders, possible head and shoulders. You don't want that, right? Here's why. Downside target right here, measured move, boom, catastrophic. All right, so where's your stop loss need to be at? Right here. Put your stop loss here. You also got the 200 simple moving average coming. It's going to act as support as well. So there's, again, got to hang in there. But the thing about just trading this market, you got to have a breaking point. You got to draw a line in the sand. And you have to know if it goes below here, it's not going to be good. There's too much downside. I'm going to wait for it to bottom. I'm going to buy back in, and I'm going to end up with more VET. Okay, so to sum it up, VET needs a bounce here, cup and handle, huge upside. Over time, this is a 12-hour chart. It's going to take some time to play out. It's not going to play out tomorrow. MetaMask, Happy New Year. Upon careful consideration, Google has permitted MetaMask mobile app back on Google Play, which is a huge victory for MetaMask and crypto in general. So Google, with your YouTube situation we just went through, at least you're fixing things. There's a Burger King branch in Slovenia that's accepting Bitcoin Cash, mainstream adoption. Let's go. Buy your Whoppers, double Whoppers. You guys see they have like this veggie burger now? Anybody had that? Is that good? I don't really eat fast food, but I don't know. Veggie burger. Self-proclaimed Satoshi Craig Wright is still going to receive $8 billion worth of Bitcoin today. I said, what? 8 billion worth of Bitcoin. So this is from that Tulip Trust that supposedly exists. So again, this is when the self-proclaimed Bitcoin inventor, half of Satoshi Nakamoto, Craig Wright, is supposed to prove he's the real Satoshi. Would the real Satoshi please stand up? I don't think you're the guy. But if you are, you're about to get a ton of Bitcoin. Listen, this guy is just, he said, remember, Bitcoin's supposed to fail today. Well, here we are. We're actually, yesterday, we made it. Bitcoin's alive. Entrepreneur warns Bitcoin maximalism and crypto tribalism is creating culture rot. I don't know if it's like just YouTube or social media, but there's this like infighting. Like everybody wants to see everybody else's coins fail and everybody be miserable. Like, dude, that's what I love about this channel. Like, I don't care what you think that's negative about something else. I want to hear tell me something positive about your crypto. Here's a crazy idea I'm just thinking about. I'm trying to come up with a good way to do it. I'm thinking about doing live streams. I want to do something different. I don't know how I'm going to do this. I'm thinking about doing live streams, but I want to take phone calls, a couple phone calls potentially from you guys. I'll get just a burner phone and do like 3-minute phone calls with 20 people and just chat, and everybody can listen to us chat. We can just, I don't know. Nobody's doing that. I want to do something different. So tell me what you think of that idea. Like, you can think about it. You can call up, and maybe I do it on Telegram. Potentially you could call up and you could, tell us all what you think about your project and what you think. And I could say, no, you're wrong. Or yeah, I agree. I could give some feedback. No, I just think I'm trying to figure out a way to get you guys more involved in the channel. I want to do different things, so I'm open to your ideas. Bitcoin ready for a big bounce. Is it ready? So this is a 3-month chart. Don Alt's saying, hey, we're going to hit this support level now, and we're going to bounce. But the key is we can't break. If we break and close 6,300, we're in trouble. Okay, because here's our support level. So this is another gentleman's chart, and this idea is basically saying he's looking for a pump. But my question is, are we going to get that dump right afterwards? So I don't know if you guys know what bullish divergence is, but to just in a nutshell, it's when the RSI or the indicator doesn't match up with the price action. This is upsloping here, so you got this pump. It kind of, if TA is not a crystal ball, but this is about as close to it as you could get. Right? If you learn divergence, it's a game changer. There's tons of videos on YouTube. You can watch them, right? But look, you get a break to the upside, 32% on this bullish divergence. Okay, then again here, bullish divergence. You get a 40% pump. I'm ready. A 40% pump. Give us 30%. Give us 20%. Let's pump. I'm ready. So I guess here we are again, bullish divergence. So let's see what happens at this point. What I don't want to see is after these pumps, huge downside, huge downside, huge. So we get the pump, and this is kind of the way it's looking. And I've talked to you guys about 4,000 because of this head and shoulders. There's a head and shoulders in here, and it looks pretty ugly. And it's been confirmed, head and shoulders on the weekly. So again, a lot of people are calling for this big reversal, and I hope it happens. We break out and go to the moon. But until we break this falling wedge, I'm bearish. Cardano's Ethereum Charles Hoskinson dukes it out with Ian Bellina. You guys who know Ian Bellina is, he used to shill a bunch of ICOs. And anyways, Charles Hoskinson has some words with him because Ian Bellina, Ian Bellina is an interesting guy. He's an engineer, used to work for IBM. He made about 250 G's a year, quit his job, got into crypto, made millions, made like $2 or $3 million bucks, and then the bottom falls out of all these ICOs and he gets wrecked. He's got this blockchain analytics company called Token Metrics. So Ian Bellina, he basically come out and said that Ethereum's code is superior to Cardano from a technical perspective. Charles Hoskinson went nuts. He's like, Ethereum has better code. Can I buy whatever drugs you're on? You must have lost your dang mind, Charles Hoskinson says. Remember, Charles Hoskinson got into it with Vitalik Buterin, and he left Ethereum, and then he directed his energy with IOHK and created Cardano, right? So there's drama. They're like this infighting. It's like it really is like my crypto. There's their crypto versus somebody else's crypto at that point. Maybe that's where it all stems from. Who could I find that could analyze some of this code? Because I would be the person to talk to. I'm just curious. Like, can you dissect the code of these cryptos to see what's really going on? And would that be the best metric? Like, because you can't judge these cryptos on their price. If you could, we judge them on the code. And so that's just a thought. If anybody out there knows how to code blockchain and potentially you're interested in some type of interview or talking on the channel, I'm open to that as well. So here's a couple comments I found about Ethereum versus Cardano. And basically, they say that Ethereum's using Cardano protocols for their ETH 2.0. It's been confirmed by Charles Hoskinson. So why would their code be so inferior as far as this new proof of stake implementation goes? So Bitcoin is trending on Twitter in South Africa. What's going on here? Bitcoin, 55,000 tweets about Bitcoin in South Africa, which, let's face it, like that's really the best place for mainstream adoption is these underdeveloped countries or countries where potentially their economic system is not as strong as, say, the U.S. or in some places in Europe, whatnot. So again, positive news for Bitcoin on Twitter. If you guys like the content that I provide on a daily basis, be sure and subscribe to the channel, like the video, comment below, hit the bell for notifications. Thanks so much. I'll see you guys tomorrow.